My girlfriend's twisted open relationship lie exposed. Okay, Reddit. Buckle up because you're about to hear a story that ripped my world apart. I'm Rick. 29M. And I thought I had it all with Taylor. 27F. We were together for 3 incredible years. Heading towards marriage. Or so I believed. Then, bam, I stumbled upon a truth so shocking, so twisted. It left me reeling. I first met Taylor during a job interview at this organization. We hit it off instantly, exchanging numbers as we left. I was confident I'd nailed the interview. But fate had other plans. I didn't get the job. But Taylor did. We stayed in touch. And she was a huge help, sharing tips and leads. A couple of months later, I finally landed a good job. And our friendship blossomed. Beyond our shared career interests, I was drawn to Taylor's sharp wit, infectious humor, and radiant energy. Honestly, I wasn't looking for love, but something about her just clicked. I just asked for her number thinking she would be a good, witty person to have around in the circle of friends. To be specific, we exchanged numbers to keep each other posted about the job we were interviewing for. But eventually, as we got closer, feelings ignited, and we became inseparable. For almost 3 years. We were a picture-perfect couple until I uncovered a secret that shattered everything I thought I knew. For about a year, Taylor and I lived together. Then, out of the blue, she announced she wanted to move back in with her best friend. Her reasoning: we'd be living together after the wedding anyway, so she wanted to enjoy her bachelorette days. Naive fool that I was, I didn't see a problem with it and gave her the space she wanted. She'd visit me on weekends, stay over some nights, basically shuffling between my place and her best friends. To the outside world, we were a power couple. Even without explicitly stating we were dating, people could feel the connection, the electricity whenever we were together. Having been burned badly in a previous relationship, I'd sworn off commitment for a while. But Taylor changed everything. Throughout our relationship, I was her biggest supporter, encouraging her to take courses, work hard, investing my all in her. From the second year, I knew she was the woman I wanted to marry. She knew how to care for me, how to love me. The first year we lived together was amazing. We split bills, shared responsibilities, a true partnership. But after she started this back-and-forth thing, the bill splitting stopped. On anniversaries, birthdays, I showered her with gifts, always putting her happiness first. To be honest, she was my priority. I sacrificed so much, bending over backwards to keep our relationship thriving. Not because I was desperate, but because I genuinely valued our bond and wanted us to be happy. Now, here's where it gets really messed up. I vividly remember, shortly before she moved out, Taylor broaching the topic of open relationships. I made it clear I was against it, that I believed true love meant exclusivity. She scoffed, argued that I was archaic, claiming she knew plenty of couples in open relationships who were deeply in love. I brushed it off, changed the subject. Then, one night during dinner, she casually dropped the bomb again. What do you think about us having an open relationship? I initially thought she was joking, but her dead serious expression sent a chill down my spine. I vehemently rejected the idea, stating I'd rather be single than be in an open relationship. She never brought it up again, but the seed of doubt had been planted. Even before our relationship started, I had told Taylor that the thing I hated most in a relationship was a cheating and lying spouse, and would not forgive her if she ever cheated on me. I got it from my previous relationship. I did not want a situation where I would give my heart to her and she would shatter it by cheating on me. Almost imperceptibly at first, I started noticing changes in her behavior. It began with her standing me up on our dates. We had the tradition of going out every Friday evening, whether it was a walk in the park, a food truck adventure, or a fancy restaurant. The deal was Since she wasn't living with me anymore, she would come to my apartment and we'd go out together. But then, the excuses started piling up. She'd keep me waiting for hours, reschedule last minute due to some urgent matter, or even cancel minutes before our meeting, claiming she thought she'd sent me a cancellation text. I should have seen the red flags, but I bought her excuses, even encouraging her to work less. I was the understanding boyfriend. Remember? Even though it was frustrating as hell when she canceled almost all the time, I didn't take it to heart. A year after she moved out, Taylor and I drifted apart. Despite living in the same town, it felt like we were in a long-distance relationship. She got promoted, started traveling constantly with her team, and we barely saw each other. When she was in town, we only communicated through WhatsApp. Sometimes, I'd send her messages that she wouldn't even read, yet she'd be actively posting WhatsApp updates. I reached my breaking point. I talked to her best friend, begging her to intervene, but it was useless. Finally, I confronted Taylor, and she blamed work. A flimsy excuse I knew wasn't true. Even freelancers juggling multiple clients had more time than she did. After the confrontation, she promised to change. She called more often, responded to my messages promptly, even updated me on her daily activities. She even started spending weekends with me again after a long time of not visiting my house. Her changes made me happy. I was beginning to feel like we were back on track. I didn't want to sound like an enemy of progress, so I didn't ask her to find another job. Instead, we agreed on how to cope with her busy schedule. I thought it was finally time to settle down. Taylor had never directly talked about marriage, so I believed she wanted me to bring up the topic on my own as the man. So, I purchased an expensive engagement ring, planning to propose the next time she came over for the weekend. That weekend, we went to a fancy restaurant for dinner, and I took the ring with me. I could not propose to her there as I intended. Later that night, back at my place, she fell asleep during our Friday movie night, complaining of exhaustion. Being the caring boyfriend, I tucked her into bed. As I returned to the living room, I briefly considered going through her phone, then resisted. In the early stages of our relationship, we had access to each other's phones. No secrets. But after contemplating for a while, I grabbed her phone. It required fingerprint access. I was too lazy to go back to the room to get her finger, and I was trying as hard as possible to not be a nosy part. But my curiosity got the best of me. I used her fingerprint and gained access. What I saw next turned my world upside down. The first thing I checked was her call log. Aside from me and her best friend, I wanted to see if she was talking to anyone else regularly. I barely scrolled down before my eyes landed on a contact saved as Daddy. My blood ran cold. Her dad was dead. And I know it wasn't my number either because my contact was saved with my name just above it. She had spoken to Daddy 3 times that day, even minutes before arriving at my apartment. Curiosity gnawing at me, I opened her WhatsApp, and there it was, right at the top of her messages. There were messages from Daddy she had not read yet because she had slept off. At first glance, the chat felt wrong, filled with suggestive emojis. So, I scrolled back to the beginning. I was about to find out that Taylor and her boss were in a relationship. It all started to unravel. She was in another relationship while we were still together, and according to what I read, she told her boss she was in an open relationship with me until marriage. I got goosebumps when I found out their relationship started around the same time she started asking questions about open relationships. And that wasn't the worst of it. Taylor had an abortion for him, receiving a hefty sum of money and a promotion in return. And they said all kinds of things about me. As I continued to read, I found out that it was her daddy's idea for her to start spending the weekend with me. She didn't even want to. He asked her to do it so I wouldn't get jealous. Guessed that someone else was taking more of her time. After a lot of persuasion from him, she agreed. He also explained that he wanted her to get busy with me so he could also have time for his own family. He said his family was already complaining about him, and his wife was beginning to suspect that he was cheating on her. He didn't want that. It was the most ridiculous thing I had ever read. And the betrayal cut deep. The calls, the messages, the updates. None of it was genuine. That night, I sat on the couch, numb, unsure of what to do. I considered waking her up, demanding answers, but I knew my anger could lead to something I'd regret. So, I went for a long walk to clear my head and think. Before leaving, I exported the entire chat log and sent it to myself, then marked the last messages as read. After hours of aimless wandering, I came up with a plan. A sort of twisted revenge plot I'd seen on Reddit. The whole weekend, I acted like nothing had happened. Then, on Tuesday, before she left on Sunday evening saying the following week, I went to her office. After a corporate organization, I was asked to wait for her. While I waited, I handed out printed copies of the chat between Taylor and her boss to everyone I bumped into, including the receptionist. They were in shock. One of the men in her office immediately shouted, "I told you something was going on. But you all said I talked too much." Taylor was confused, and when she asked what was going on, I handed her a copy. As soon as she glanced through it, she flung the copy and tried to hold me. Knowing what I had done meant she would no longer have a job. I loved how everyone looked at her as I walked out of the room, and then she ran after me. Just as I was about to enter my car and drive off, she ran, held my arm, and said she could explain. Shortly after I arrived home, she dashed out of a taxi without shoes and came to beg me. She kept banging on my house door, and because of this she left at my place through the window. And I told her to go and be with her daddy. She still refused to leave. Her best friend tried to speak to me from outside and dragged Taylor inside her car. Since then, Taylor has been blowing up my phone, begging me to take her back. It's so brave of her to think we could ever be together after everything she's done. I still love her, but I do not want to be with her. I've been trying to get over everything and move on, but she has been begging me to see, and I know it's stupid, but I have fixed a meeting with her for next week and I'm confused about what to do. I can't get over the memories we shared in my apartment. Almost everything in it reminds me of her. My heart wants her, but being with her will be disastrous for me. Has anyone had a similar experience? I look forward to your comments. I think you know exactly what to do. She was seeing someone else behind your back. Go back, and she even managed to get pregnant from this man and have an abortion. Not only that, but you even said it yourself. You'd rather be single than a man in an open relationship. Why would you stay in a relationship with someone who has cheated on you? Update 1. Hello everyone, thank you for your comments. I'm glad to know others have been in the same situation. You're all right. Even if I agree, another chance. What, she will cheat on me again? Women like her are never content. She started crying and making a scene. I was even embarrassed because we were at the park and I tried to pretend everything was fine. After we had settled, she told me she had never believed in monogamy from the and she thought I was the kind of man that would love an open relationship as our relationship progressed. But when she suggested that we have an open relationship and I kicked against it, she was disappointed and decided to do her. It was funny for her to think I would never find out about her relationship. She even said she had no intentions of telling me and to stop once I proposed to her married. When I asked her about the abortion, she started sobbing and apologizing. She said the pregnancy was mine, but she needed the promotion badly. At this point, I didn't even know if she was telling the truth. She of all people knew how I was protective of her body. She knew I would never want to share her with anybody, yet she cheated on me with her boss. Someone here commented that I asked her what she wanted, and when I did, she said she wanted us to return to the way we used to be. I told her that was impossible because she had ruined her only chance, and no matter how much I loved her, we could never return to the way we used to be. Hearing this, she stood up immediately and made a scene. She started yelling at me, called me names, and said she had been putting up with me for years. She said she had been doing me favors and it was her turn to collect. Then she walked out on me. By this time I didn't even know she had been fired from work and her boss had been fired along with her. She desperately wanted me to take her back and that's why she tried everything possible. Also, I recently learned that her best friend knew she was having an affair but didn't say anything. They collaboratively played me for a fool and kept me in the dark. Just this evening she called and said she'd be coming over tomorrow and we are not breaking up until she says so. I have never seen her act this way and it's terrifying. I told her not to come or I'll call the police. Whatever happens, I'll make another update soon. Why would she want to stay with you if she's been putting up with you? Why would she want to stick with you if she can hardly stand you and if she loves open relationships so much? Why would she suddenly change her mind once marrying you? Of course she still cheat on you, but she wouldn't even consider it cheating. According to her, it's not cheating if it's an open relationship. Update to hello everyone, sorry it took so long for me to make another update. Something happened and I had to take care of that before making another update. So Taylor came over like she had said when we talked and I officially told her it was over between us. She laughed. She said she had no regrets about cheating on me because she did everything for her career and she saw no harm in it. This is how I knew she would keep cheating on me even after we married. I was so pissed, so I grabbed her arm and tried to throw her out of my apartment, but she pushed me violently. When I fell and hit my arm, she pulled a mega hammer out of her purse and started destroying things in the house. She destroyed the TV, my new laptop, and several other things. I called the police to report harassment, and just as she was tearing up my apartment, the police drove in. Also, one of my neighbors had called the police when she heard the argument and loud crash in the house. Even she could not believe that Taylor would act that way. Eventually, the police came in and Taylor was arrested. Because I missed my step when she pushed me with force, I fell and broke my left arm. After healing my arm, I sued Taylor in. The first reason was for a refund of the money I spent in the hospital, and the second was for her to pay for all the damages she made in my. When we went to court, the judge asked for pictures of the damages in my hospital bills, and everything amounted to almost $7,000. I could not even replace them because it was so expensive. The judge was furious and passed judgment against her. As I make this update, Taylor has been ordered to replace my laptop, fix the appliances she destroyed, and she has started refunding the money I spent at the hospital. Now she knows we can never be a thing again, and that has made her so miserable. Worst of, she cannot get another job in our town because she has been blacklisted. I feel so fulfilled that she has to go through all of this misery and has gotten what she deserves. I say thank you to everyone that commented on my main post. I appreciate all of your comments. Wow. That's some seriously unstable behavior. And why do that? It only costs her in the end. Not only money. I'm sorry. What do you make of this? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And thank you for joining us today. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. Until next time.